Landria Onkka on YouTube, here to help you break through those fears, live an awesome life. And I want to help you to manifest anything. Now, what does anything mean? You chose to play a role in a costume and to experience certain lessons here. Why would we do this? Because it's not very pleasant most of the time. Even when we get to that place where life seems perfect, well, then it's not so perfect again. That will never go away. Of course, I do so many videos telling you that really the true core and foundation of happiness is to break through all that you see that appears to be material, that is truly an illusion. Einstein said it. Quantum mechanics proves that this is true. Everything is a wave. What is it? Everything's a probability. Upon our focus, we create a particle which manifests into the material world. This is why when you're so focused on something, you create it. Well, if you're not experiencing that amazing life that you desire, then you're focusing on the negativity of it, the things that you don't want, and why is this happening? And you battle life. When you end battling life, there is no war, right? You know what Gandhi did? They laid down in front of the tanks when the British were coming through. There was nothing to fight. Well, that worked with the British. It might not work with some other cultures. My point being is that he knew the strategy of creating peace, and that was to stop the violence, to stop the battle, to stop the conflict. It ends. Now, other egos might come in and try and abuse or take over or use that strategy. I don't believe that that is absolutely possible. In the material world, it may appear that somebody's doing better, taking advantage. But that is an illusion also in the material world. And what's actually going on in these spiritual realms is that they are not elevating their frequency, and you are. So you never lose by succumbing over to somebody else's wishes or desires or greed over yours. I'm not talking about taking on physical abuse or anything like that. I'm talking about getting a job or getting certain things in life, or having the last say, or whatever you're arguing about. Can you be the peace? I'm going to tell you right now, if you focus on that first, everything else in your life will become amazing. And you'll realize, oh my gosh, I was creating a story in my head about all these things that were happening in my life. And that's all it was. My viewpoint that I was unhappy if I didn't have certain things, or that somebody treated me a certain way, was a problem. We're all students in a classroom. Now, when you're in a classroom and there are the kids that don't do as well, it's sort of silly, right? You know, how can we be judged by this? But that's how our system works, especially here in the United States. If you don't do well, if you don't get the good grades, you know, it doesn't affect the other students from doing well. You don't look at them, and of course the ego might look at them and say, look down on them. And that's how life works, right? But it doesn't stop you from graduating to the next course, and they will stay there. That's it. So why do we see another person who might be in a denser frequency, a lower frequency, that's still struggling and working through things, not to be judged, neither right nor wrong, because if you judge, then you're down there on that frequency with them, right? But when you experience that, and you're in the same classroom as we are, allow them to be where they are. Allow them to be in the lower grade, and then you progress by being okay with them and maybe helping them a little bit if they desire it, if they choose it or would like your help. Bless them, and then you get to go to the next classroom and they won't be there, right? But if you're focused on them and you are, criticizing them, or they're lower than you, or they irritate you, go stay in that classroom with them. That's what this is. That's it. So I want you to remember, every single thing that happens to you, there are no coincidences. There's no chaos in the universe. God is perfection. That means you are. That means you are. That if you say that things aren't supposed to be a certain way, then that is essentially saying that God made a mistake. God doesn't make mistakes. God is everything. God is the energy that flows through everything. And every single thing, every tiny little molecule, everything you do and don't see is super intelligent. Every little molecule in your body has its own intelligence. Now, it doesn't act independently like you and I do, because we have an entity that is here to go through a role with a mind and free will and all of these things that we chose in this game. Now, I know some of you don't like the word game, and that's okay. You don't have to use that word. Just say this reality that we chose. Can you be okay with it, the fact that this is a classroom? Can you be okay that everybody here is a student? And there's some really, let's just say, lower density students. And they may be here purposely to test you. They could be super advanced beings that decided to come down here to create a situation for you. We don't know. I don't have those answers. I'm not going to try and pretend I do. But let's imagine that is a possibility. It doesn't matter if that's what it is or not. All you know is that you must pass your tests. And what are you going to do? Me. What can I do? What can I get? I'm here in the Adriatic Sea in Brindisi, Italy. This beautiful woman came in and just cleaned my room. She doesn't speak a word of English, and I do not speak Italian. And we communicated so beautifully. She came over and said, "Molto bella." I guess she said this. I guess she was saying that I was pretty. I don't know. I'll look it up. But I said, she says, "I don't speak English." I said, "I don't speak Italian." But we both grabbed each other's arms, and I touched my heart, and she touched hers. In other words, we were speaking from our heart, and we had this mutual admiration for each other. We sensed an energy from each other. And she wanted to share that with me. Here's this woman in my room that I don't even know. This is how we communicate. No words are necessary. No words are necessary. You communicate every moment by where you are in your frequency, what you're thinking and believing, and all that is revealed. I don't know what that is. Somebody's selling something, right? Some event going on. Alright, should I wait till he goes by? I don't know. Hopefully you can hear me. So, I don't understand a word he's saying, right? There's a communication that goes on that's beyond what we understand. And we believe that everything has to be physical or spoken or told. And it doesn't. And that's what awakening is. No words are necessary. Thinking is not necessary. You do not have to think to know that you need to go to the bathroom or that you need to eat. You don't have to think to know that you want scrambled eggs and cheese, and you can communicate that. This is when everything shuts down and you go into an awakened state of communicating love and compassion, seeing the other, feeling the energy. And when you feel the negative energy, sending the blessings and love, and you remove yourself. You don't have to go into the classroom where you already know this stuff. You go to the one where you belong. And then if they want help and they ask you to tutor them, yes, then you can go ahead and do that. Can you get the classroom concept going? Because if you do, your life will flow much easier. And I see so many of you struggling with this. It's always the other person. It's always, I've got everything in order, because you think you're controlling that. And you feel like you are. And you are. You're creating it, I should say. But you believe that those things that are going on out there, you believe that you don't have control over that, and you want to have control because you want that world to fit in with your perfect reality. And it will as soon as you let that go and realize that's how we create the perfect reality. When we all stop expecting that outside world to change for us. Can you do that? I know you can do this. You will not know where you are spiritually unless you test yourself once in a while, until you go into situations where you have to deal with some very, let's say, stressful or challenges. You'll know. And that's when you accelerate your growth. That's when those of you in wheelchairs, those of you having to take care of people that are ill, how are you going to handle this situation? This is what you chose in order for you to become an amazing person, because you may have mastered everything else. Maybe you didn't master forgiveness in this lifetime, and you have some really horrific things that happen to you, so that you could take the worst situation and forgive. It's easy to forgive small stuff, right? Try and forgive something truly big. But it's not really huge, because this isn't who you are. Nobody violates this. It's just an energy. Everything's just energy, neither good nor bad, experiencing every possible facet of itself. It's difficult to imagine because we don't feel like we're that. We feel like I'm this. But I am means that I is everything am. I am that. I am that. I am. Everything you see and do not see is super, super intelligent, and every thought and every feeling and belief you have is the universe totally reacting. No delay, is you reacting. This is why we must monitor our thoughts. You hide nothing from the universe. You are the universe. Whatever you're thinking, that's it. That's the universe thinking in your reality. You get to choose it. What do you choose? I hope you can see me here, because the sun just went over. I'm going to wish you great grades in school. Let's get busy, because we have limited time, linear time here. We can argue that one too, but we're not going to argue anymore, are we? You're whole and perfect, strong and powerful, loving, harmonious, and happy. That's from the Master Key System. An amazing book. And by the way, that mantra is just quoted in the Master Key System. It's actually used many, many years before that book was written. It was used to heal somebody who was basically crippled and had very little time to live. Lived to be an old, healthy man who was walking around perfectly fine. Started with the belief that no matter what somebody told him, he chose not to believe it. And we do control our own destiny. All right, so no one can actually harm you unless you participate in it. I want you to know you are fully in control of everything. Absolutely. There's nothing outside of you. Everything was absolutely planned for you, by you, with you, agreed to by you. Go through with it. Celebrate what you are. Celebrate your costume. Be your best. Do your best. Treat others as you would like to be treated, because you are that. I am that. I am. Namaste.